Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Recha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And the title of this lesson is going to be What a Disoriented World. And this comes as a observation that, as I was just driving through today, I'm just looking at it, and when you look all around you, you just see a bunch of individuals that are just moving about, with clueless as to what's actually going on, right? And you wonder if some of them are even okay, right? With it, the way people move. You go to certain communities or you drive in certain areas, and the way that people operate their vehicles, the way that, they cross the street, the way they look, it's just like, if you were to describe a realistic version of a zombie, it would be these people. As the saying goes, dead up, right? Dead from the neck up, something like that. Because that's exactly what they are. You got TGs, and I remember a time when TGs weren't, because they didn't have the technology to be able to fully cross them over. So TGs weren't on the level they are now. Now it's to the point where you actually gotta make sure you looking. Yeah, your instinct will tell you. You'll notice when certain things are off, but you gotta look, and really verify. You got women that are behaving as men, okay, like straight up behaving as, like, sound like men, act like men, moving about like they're full of testosterone. Okay, men doing the opposite, sodomites walking around freely, and all manner of just crazy, wild, wicked shit that is just abominations, right? Completely abominable, just out on Front Street. And that's normal in today's society. This is a perfectly normal world in the minds of everybody else. They just go about, living in this crazy, disoriented, wild, messed up world. Abominations left and right, eating abominations. Even the foods that are supposed to be so-called healthy are abominable now, because that's what they do. So how is this not a disoriented world? When the air you breathe is designed to make you sick, so is the water that you drink and the water that you shower with, because there's so many chemicals in there that when you turn on the shower and you got it on hot in the say in wintertime, that activates the different metals and toxins in the and chemicals in the water as they seep through the pores in your skin and enter into your body. So it's almost like they've turned life into death. Everything that you use has some side effect or some downstream impact that is designed to harm you in some way, shape, or form. Not to mention that you gotta slave your ass off in order to continue to remain in this cycle of death. So if that is not a disoriented and messed up world, then I don't know what else comes close to that. Okay? Everything is a problem. Everything is a fight. Everything is stressful. And that does not equate to a paradise. The earth itself right now doesn't look like a paradise. I'm pretty sure it doesn't feel like a paradise. The animals don't feel like it's a paradise. Creation itself is suffering. And that's not what the Lord intended when he created the world. Right? When you go back to the beginning and you read in the book of Genesis, it says that the powers saw that it was good. The creation was good. The animals were good. The air was good. The food was good. The water was good. Everything that was created has a purpose, and it served its purpose to perfection, and therefore it was good in the eyes of the Lord and the powers. And that's why the scriptures mention that in due time the Lord is going to set up one that is profitable over the earth. And the scriptures also mention that when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear of rule, the people mourn. And that's what you see going on. The people are mourning. Okay? They're mourning because this isn't a correct world. But what Esau does is he sedates the people. He has sedated the majority of people, not only with physical drugs, but mental drugs. That's where your bread and circuses, your entertainment, and it's not entertaining. All they do is they just if you ever wondered why things have become so extreme nowadays, it's because drama piques curiosity. And that's the thing about, the human mind, that when you get curious, you want to know what's going on. That's a strong part of the human mind. The problem is now that the thrill doesn't come from, like when you go back in the day, even like pranks used to actually be funny. They used to be harmless and they used to be funny. But the minds of the people have been so drugged up that those things don't do it anymore. If you had ice cream once every, I don't know, 4 months, ice cream would taste pretty good because you're not having it every day. If you had ice cream every day, as sweet and as good as it may taste to you, you'll get tired of it very quickly. And so you're going to move on from that. You're not going to want ice cream. It's going to become regular, and it's not going to taste special. It's not going to trigger that dopamine release like it did before. And it's the same thing when people are exposed to a constant stream of social media, where you're seeing like crazy videos, funny videos, pranks, and all of these things. Eventually, that all just becomes standard. And so in order for somebody to go viral, they need to do something more extreme. And then eventually that more extreme becomes standard. And then the next person needs to go even more extreme. And before you know it, you're in a world where like people are now borderline killing others for content. Because that's what's going to get them hits. That's what's going to get them views. The norm has now become women exposing their body on social media. That's the normal way to go now. If she wants followers and she wants likes and she wants views, she has to expose herself. And you'll be wondering, like, on one hand, oh, this chick looks like she's a professional, I don't know, tennis player or some shit. And then you're talking about link in the bio. Link to what? Your tennis replays? No. Link to some other things. OnlyFans and all of these other pages. And it's like, damn, what happened to the world? What happened to you a freaking corporate chick by day and a freak of freaks by night? But it's a systematic design. It's all set up that way in order to destroy and disrupt this society. And that is exactly what has happened over the course of the past decades. The span that Esau Edom has been in power. This isn't by coincidence. But they changed the world ever so slowly, gradually, that people change with it. And people think, like, they forget that the changing of the world is really for you. What I mean by that is they're trying to change you. And the body and the mind adapts. So as the world changes, people adapt and they change with it. And I say all that to say that this is exactly why the judgment that is written in the scriptures is written that way. And it's going to come about that way. Because the Lord has to bring fire and complete destruction to cleanse this world. This corruption is not, on a city level, on a block level. It's on a world scale. So the judgment needs to be on a world scale to cleanse this world. Because this place is just, there's no coming back from this place. You got to start again. Right? And that's what it's going to be. When Yahweh Shai comes back, it's going to be the new Genesis. Because this is the end of the old world. Okay? When Yahweh Shai comes back, that's going to be the end of the old world. And that's the world we live in right now. It's all corrupt. The corruption has hit its peak. It's written in Revelation, the 18th chapter. That her sins have reached onto heaven. What happened when the cry of Sodom went up? The Lord sent the angels down, and what did they do? They destroyed it, right? So the cry of this place is going up. It goes up all that constantly. From the wickedness that is being done, and the righteous that are sighing and crying in the midst of this place, for the Lord to bring judgment. All that is going up, and the Lord is hearing it constantly. And he's going to send Yahweh Shai back, right? The deliverer, to deliver us from this hell, to save us. At least the few that haven't been tainted and corrupted by this perverse and virus-like world. That's what it is. So thank the Lord every day that you wake up, that he kept your eyes open, that you're not asleep and you're not one of these zombies who's just getting worse and worse along with this world. Thank the Lord that you can see what's actually wrong with this world, and you can abstain from that and be under the covering, right, of the holiness of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. Because, it ain't about, that's that religion stuff. No, this is about life. Okay, this is about life. And those that go into the tower of the name of the Lord, that go under the wing of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, they're the ones who are going to have life and keep life and maintain it. As for the rest, they're choosing death. And that's exactly what's going to come to them. Right? They're going to take hold of that side, which is death. And that's exactly what's going to come to them. All right? Because abominations like this, the scriptures tell you what the judgment is for that. No ifs, ands, or buts, no questions, no none of that. Just straight up judgment. End of story. Period. Point blank. And that's what the Lord is going to bring. You're going to have a lot of people seeking mercy in that time, but it's not, you cannot fix all the wrongs you've done in that one day. You can't atone for all. The only way that atonement is coming is by your blood, i.e. your judgment. Okay? And the Lord's going to put it into the minds of these people that, well, you wanted, I sent my messengers out here to tell you that there was a way, there was an alternative, right? Outside of you having to be judged. And now that alternative is expired, because when they told you about it, you didn't care. You didn't want it. That alternative was Yahweh Shai, but you didn't want it. So since you didn't want redemption and salvation, you get destruction. And that's just how the story goes. So anyway, with that, I just wanted to speak on that a little bit. It's this world is just dark, man. The scriptures mention that in Isaiah, gross darkness to people, but this world is just dark. It's like Gotham. It's like you walk around and the energy, even though, yeah, the sun may be out, but I mean, spiritually dark. Everybody's just dark. There's no life in people. They're just there, ready to be violent. See why the scriptures say in Genesis, the 6th chapter, that the world was full with violence. And then it says it's going to be like as in the days of Noah. So you can see it. All right. This world needs a cleanse. And we pray that the Lord bring it sooner than later. Anyway, with that, like I said, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying unto the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rachah Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.